Welcome to the GCN Tech Show. Yep, here I am with all of my friends having to self-isolate and film the show in unprecedented fashion from my house because, like many of you, I'm self-isolating. But we're going to get through this. We're going to get through it together, and we've got loads in this show, fear not. We've got new bits from Zip, a new app from SRAM, BMW Bike, the Bike Vault, your upgrades, your pain caves, and our main talking point, how indoor cycling and the advances of tech in it are going to get us through this crisis together. Now, before we carry on with the show, go and wash your hands. I'm going to do the same. Okay. Self-isolating and filming the show in my house also means that I'm filming it myself, which means I'm going to apologise in advance if it's not up to its usual production standards that you've come to expect. We have some very talented people who work for us at GCN, and, well, I'm probably not one of them. Anyhow, we asked you to submit your pain caves last week, and we've had some great submissions. So we're going to go through those ultimate pain cave setups in a bit later on. But that brings us nicely onto our main talking point this week, which is how technology is going to help us through having to self-isolate and cycle and stay indoors. You know, cycling is a huge part of many of our lives, and the thought of losing that freedom, that means of exercise and exploration and just fun is, well, it's very depressing, isn't it? I mean, imagine if this had happened 5 years ago or 10 years ago. I mean, it would have been grim, having to just ride indoors on a dumb trainer or, you know, some basic rollers and stare mind-numbingly into a wall or your garage door, garage, if you're from America. But now, thanks to modern trainers, we can socially interact while we ride indoors. We can get mental stimulation from interactive workouts. We can ride in virtual worlds. And it seems that people are cottoning on to this as well because, well, the retailer Sigma Sports recently reported a 977% increase in turbo trainer sales. And also in response to the outbreak, the online app RGT Cycling has, well, made itself free to all, which is great news. So you can download it for free and ride in it for free. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the app, we've actually made a video on it, so you can see all the details of it there. We'll put a link at the end of the show, I'm sure, or down in the description. You know, things like that are really good to see. And if, you know, RGT cycling isn't your bag, or, you know, Zwift isn't your bag, and there's plenty of other apps you can get involved with too and try out and use for indoor riding. There really is something for everything. A lot of these apps offer very different experiences, and it's also good to see cycling communities coming together to bring their riding indoors too. I'm really liking the sense of community I'm seeing amongst us cyclists. One of my old clubs, Addiscombe CC, has done a great thing. So they've brought their indoor, well, they've brought their 10-mile time trial indoors. Now, amongst British cycling clubs, the weekly 10-mile time trial is a kind of staple event. It's an institution. So to go without it, it's quite sad to miss that social occasion. So what they're doing is they're agreeing to meet on Zwift on the TikTok course and then set off at sort of, well, 1 minute intervals and then time themselves on that particular segment and then do their 10-mile TT virtually, as it were. Well, kind of cool, isn't it? And they're also been doing virtual cafe stops as well. So they've been riding virtually and then agreeing to meet up at a certain time and do a FaceTime call amongst a group chat of them, which, well, is brilliant. The fantastic thing about modern technology is that self-isolation doesn't mean you have to be isolated. Even as a cyclist, you know, you can have a virtual coffee stop with your friends like you normally would. And many clubs are organising virtual club rides. It's brilliant to see. But if you're one of the people who's feeling left out because you don't have an indoor training setup, or you're not on any of the apps like, you know, Zwift or RGT or anything like that, then don't worry, because many of these apps only require basic equipment to use. So you can just use a standard dumb basic turbo trainer and then just pair that with a speed sensor, and you should be able to go on many of them. Now, I've actually made a video recently about this, so you can find more information in there. We'll include a link at the end of the show. a video I want to make in the future is indoor training hacks, indoor cycling hacks. Now, seeing as a lot of us are doing a lot more of this, I would love to get our collective hive mind together. And if you can include any good hacks you've got down in the comments below, then they might make it into a video I make in the future. I mean, we'll try and come up and collate the best ones. And also, just think, once this is all blown over, I mean, after all this indoor training, we'll all probably come out the other side being the fittest and the strongest we've ever been. I mean, if Matt Hayman's example is anything to go by, you know, broke his arm, was unable to ride outside for months, just trained religiously on Zwift, and then first ride outside went and won Paris-Roubaix. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. Now let's take a look at some of your pain caves that you've submitted in response to last week's show. So we've had some great ones. I mean, keep your workout dungeons coming in, because you can submit them using the app, and I'm sure these are going to become a recurring thing over the next few weeks. I mean, we've probably got a few weeks of this yet. And also make sure you include all the details and little hacks and things that you've done to make your setup better than it would be ordinarily. So first up, we have got ANDYPEDALS. He says he's got a Wahoo kicker snap and a kicker climb. Good choices. Good choices. Good for any indoor training setup, those. And then he's got an HD projector and a Sonos soundbar. Very slick. He also stores his bikes and helmets next to this as well, with all these all his gadgets. He's got his cranks lined up on his bikes. Look at that, he's got a nice Pinarello on the wall. Bonus points for the projector, and also the fact that you're watching the GCN Tech Show. I like that you've picked a bit where Manon's ringing the bell. That's good. But that is a proper man shed, isn't it? And I like the way you've got your sort of workout bench as well. Nice. That is a great pain cave. We need to come up with some kind of prize that we can give away to like the best pain cave. Anyway, next we've got CEREALKILLER. I haven't thought this fully through yet. Next up we've got CEREALKILLER. And he says he doesn't have any old pictures of his pain cave, but this is his current pain cave that he's set up. But I mean, look at that. That's a full-on like gym thing he's got going on there. Also got a kicker climb, a couple of fans. I think the last one, that's my last one from ANDYPEDALS. My criticism is I don't think you've got enough fan action going on there. I think you're going to overheat. I think the other one beats you in terms of fans, but you win on the projector, because that TV looks quite small and quite far away. But he has got another sort of tablet setup going on, so he can type away and chat to his friends. But looks like there's lots of gym action going on there. Something I know a lot about. Next one we've got PEDALEURDESHAM. Nice handle. And this is brilliant. Right, check this out. So he's got his indoor setup there, his Tax Turbo trainer, and then he simply popped the little one's bike on some bricks with the stabilizers, and boom, they can join in too. That's great, isn't it? Oh, that's what we like to see. That's nice. But again, fans. I think you need more fans. It's going to get quite warm quite quickly. That's definitely going in the hacks video, cooling. But that's brilliant. Next up, we've got a before and after pain cave. So that's it being stripped out. It's just a bit of a building site. Looks a bit like John Canning's house. And then there it is now. Again, massive TV, big speakers. Oh, all going on. Again, though, I think there's a lack of cooling system there. I really do struggle without fans, and see a lot of heart rate drift. So yeah, that's from RYANPATTERSON. And finally, we've got this one from Deepak, who says that this is his sort of before, where he started indoor training, and he's on his BMC bike there, and he tried it out and then sort of got into it and found himself loving it so much that he decided to treat himself to a full Wahoo setup. So check this out, right? He's gone and got the mat, he's got the kicker, he's got the headwind down in the corner there, kicker climb so it can adjust, simulate the climbs in Zwift. Massive TV. You've got everything going on. And a nice Scott foil on there too. That is an enviable pain cave. That is a nice set. I mean, it's not really a cave, is it? It's just it's nicer than my house. Anyway, hopefully more pain caves next week. And yeah, remember to share your tips and submit them using the app. Time now for hot tech. Now there's definitely a trend amongst bike components for the kind of black, all stealthy, stealth bomber kind of look. Yeah. Anyway, it's nice to see that a brand is coming out with something that's a contrast to this. Zip is bringing back that retro, shiny silver look to bike components. They've brought out a new range of service course bars, stems, and seat posts, all in this rather retro and classy silver. Certainly stands out. The distinctive silver colour is called Nanoblast Silver Anodize. I like it. And they've also revamped their iconic Zip logo. So gone is the old one, and here is the new one. Pretty cool. Now there's 4 different bars available in widths from 38 through to 44 centimeters. Stems are available at 2 different angles, and they're also available in 60 to 130 millimeters long. And there's also the seat post as well, which is available in 2 diameters. Yeah, you'll be able to get your hands on these products from April, apparently. Although with the current situation, I'd probably forgive them if there was a slight delay on that. Now, SRAM has just launched Access Web, which is a tool and an app for those who want to better understand and improve their experience while riding on the bike. The Access Web dashboard is available for anyone who uses enabled devices, so that can be power meters, the little tyre pressure gauges, or just electronic shifting, whether that's force or ETAP. And what it says you'll enable to do is to collect and display ride data onto your head unit. So at the moment that's just Garmin, but apparently Wahoo is along the way. And then it'll allow you to analyze your ride files with an app on your smartphone, and you'll be able to look at a whole host of metrics from like different shifting patterns, which gears you use the most, power zones, tire pressure, how that's then overlaid over maps, and you'll quickly learn more about how you use your bike and how your bike is working for you, and then you can potentially consider adjustments. Really techy, really nerdy, but really cool if you're like me. Hot new clothing tech now. Fabian Cancellara, aka Spartacus, has just released a brand new range of clothing with his longtime collaborators, Gore Bikewear. Now the new collection features 8 different items, and they have a little discreet heptagon logo on them. So on the zippers, on the sleeves, and also on the band on the shorts. Now this heptagon logo is paying homage to Cancellara because that's the number of spring classics he won. 7. He also won the Tour de France prologue on the 7th of the 7th, 2007. And 7 is also a prime number. I don't think that's one of the reasons, but just, it is, isn't it? Next up, in what has to be the greatest piece of marketing timing in the history of product launches, Wahoo has teamed up with clothing brand Le Col to launch a range of indoor-specific cycling clothing. That's right, there's 2 ranges, the Ride Ral and the Collective Edition, and both of them feature clothing which has been tailored for indoor riding. So it's made, according to them, from lighter weight fabrics with a big emphasis on moisture wicking, because you sweat a lot on the turbo, and also they've really focused on seat pad comfort, because again, when you're sitting in your shorts on the turbo, it can get a little bit uncomfortable. Both the RAL and Collective editions feature a short sleeve jersey, a sleeveless jersey if that's the look that you're into, a long sleeve warm-up jersey, some shorts, and a cap which helps presumably get the sweat from going into your eyes. Do we need indoor cycling specific clothing? I'm not sure, I've never tried it myself, but I'd be intrigued to. But let us know in the app. We'll have a poll. Do you need indoor cycling clothing? Let us know. And finally, in hot tech this week, BMW, the German car manufacturing giant, has teamed up with Italian bike brand 3T to bring out a special custom bike available in 2 different colorways. The imaginatively named 3T for BMW features an aerodynamic 3T frame and what they're claiming are the lightest carbon aero cranks available to humanity, made in 3T's Italian factory. There's also an exclusive Brooks leather saddle and matching Brooks leather grips. I do like those. Also, you've got a Shimano GRX group set, set for gravel bikes, and well, blooming great group set that. Check this out, that is a pretty cool looking bike. Question is though, will this tyre have an insatiable propensity to light up its rear tyres with a cacophony of pops and bangs coming from its exhaust and a propensity to oversteer at every single opportunity? Probably not actually, because it's a bike and not a car. More hot tech next week. Time now for snacks of the week. I don't know if you sent any snacks in this week because they would have gone to GCN HQ and I can't go there because of the lockdown. But in any rate, I don't want snacks. All I need you to send me is dried pasta and toilet roll. Please send me some dried pasta and toilet roll. Time now for Screw Riding Upgrades by Upgrades, where you submit upgrades that you've made to your bike's equipment or cycling lives for a chance to win the ultimate prize, a GCN cap or casquette if you're French. Now, you can submit the evidence of your upgrades in any form you like. I mean, most people use pictures, but I'd quite happily accept drawings. I mean, it'd be quite nice to get some drawings. Someone send some drawings, that could be pretty funny. Anyway, this week, before we get on to this week's entrance, we've got to do last week's, and we had Spanky24 UK's Merida, which he'd done a rather impressive sparkly paint job on, versus RIVERCITYRIDER's Cannondale ST. And the winner, 80%, massive victory, Spanky24 UK's Merida. But I mean, that paint job on a Merida, that was pretty special, that. I mean, to be honest, I'm about to start a TT bike project. I might have to get Spanky services underway, like see if you can paint my bike for me. That was probably the best custom painted bike we've seen in the upgrade section that someone's done themselves. Mega. Anyway, this week we have got Castro, FR. Castro, maybe he's French Castro, who says he's built a gravel bike for his niece. She's 7 years old. And the name of the bike, because it has to have a name if you're 7, is Mikas. Cool. Check this out, right? So it started off with that. It's like a kid's sort of single speed, but with a freewheel mountain bike, like many of us had at some point, flat pedals. Nice. And then he has modded it. Look at that. Oh, he's gone to town. Custom paint job. I like the way that you've even painted the chainring guard as well. That's nice. Nice attention to detail. And the wheel rims as well. And you filled in the frame, which, I mean, I'm guessing that's to make it more aero. That gets bonus points in my book. Now, that's brilliant. And drop bars as well. I see you're steering her in the right direction with those. That's great. Loving the pink bar tape, loving the Tektro drop bar brake shifters. I bet she is made up with that. And if she's not, she doesn't know how lucky a niece she is, because that is brilliant. It's not going to be plain sailing for Castro, because he's up against Jakar, who's said he's bought this badly painted single speed conversion Olmo with original parts in a bucket for 50 euros. That's it. Well, that's an incredible bargain. You picked yourself up there. Now he says, with some love and some excessive attention to detail, this Olympics-themed Red Devil was born. Now, he's not included much information. Please, when you include your upgrades, put in as much information as you can. We love reading all the details and really hearing about the story of what you've done. So I'm going to have to go off the pictures here, but that is incredible. So that's what we started out with. Really tired, and yeah, you see it's a single speed conversion. Luckily it's got those horizontal dropouts, so it'll work without a chain tensioner at all there. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty tired looking thing, isn't it? And then you've gone to this. I mean, that's a fantastic upgrade. Loving the tan sidewall tyres, loving the group set, loving the paint job and the decals on the frame. Got the old original Olmo graphics on there. That pristine white turbo saddle matches perfectly with that pristine white bar tape as well. I mean, That is a beautiful, classic vintage bike you've got there now. Amazing that you've turned it from, well, that thing looks it was destined for the scrappy to that, but, well, 2 fantastic upgrades, but, I mean, you're up against a 7-year-old, and it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard, but it's not up to me, it's up to you guys. You know what to do? Vote on the poll in the app. There'll be a link to the description. There'll be a link in the description to the poll in the app, down below. The bike vault. Now, I often get criticised for being quite harsh in the bike vault, and at times like this, I feel we need some positivity in our lives. There's enough rubbish going on. So I'm going to switch over to Manon to do the bike vault because she was really excited about it. Fingers crossed, there's some bikes with glitter this week. Manon likes glitter.
Thanks, Ollie. As you can see, I've tried to make my own tech studio here today. If you have any ideas on how I can make it a little bit better, please leave them in the comment section below. But it's now time for the bike vault, where you submit pictures of your bikes and I vote if they're nice or super nice. And if they're super nice, the bell gets rung. As you can see, it's a different bell this week because I had to find my own one. And the bikes get put to the bike vault forever and ever and ever. But if you disagree with my judgment, you can have your own say by voting on them in the app. Right, first up in the bike vault, we've got Leonisno1, and he sent in this Canyon Air Road, and it is for his fiance's 30th birthday present. That is a very nice birthday present. I'd be very happy with this. Canyon Air Road, Shimano Ultegra Di2, some nice Mavic wheels, Continental tyres. Oh, a nice pink chain. What happens if there's a gold chain? Who do I fist pump? I'll have to fist pump myself. I think that deserves a super nice. Sounds a bit different to the usual bell. So next up we have this De Rose Idol 2012 with Campagnolo Chorus 11 speed, a gold chain. Gonna fist pump myself. No chimney. This is good. Hasn't lined the valves up though. Tough decision. It's not in Biggie Smalls. I think this might be a nice. I mean, it has got gold glitter on. Oh, gold glitter, gold chain. Nice white handlebar tape. I would not want to get that white handlebar tape muddy because that is gleaming. My gut instinct is telling me it's a nice. So it's a nice. The next one in is from Shane L. Ooh, matte black. First ride out in Richmond on my new Madone. This was a side project with my daughter, so this one means a lot to me. That's very nice. Another gold chain. Pretty sure that's a gold chain. And it's in Biggie Smalls. No chimney. Left the saddlebag on, but it's a pretty neat looking saddlebag. I'll give him that. The valves are nearly lined up. Nearly. Just the rear one needs to be shifted a little bit, but I mean, it's close enough for me. I'm gonna say this is a super nice. This is, ooh, loud. Next, we've got this one in from Lemmings, a 95. It is a Cannondale CAD 13. Very, very nice. Another gold chain. The valves are lined up nicely. Biggie Smalls, gold chain, black saddle. I'm a big fan of the handlebar tape. I feel like that just gives it a little bit of something. No chimney, this is good. Nice background as well, a bit of graffiti on the walls. Super nice! Now on to our final bike of the bike vault. And this week it's in from JOOSTW. Interesting. This is a Cannondale Synapse. And it's got custom built DT Swiss wheels. Oh, castle in the background. Looks something out of a Disney film. Oh, a little bit of a chimney. Not a very big chimney, but there is a little bit of a chimney. I've got a gut instinct. It's only a nice. I think it's a nice. Yeah, we're going with a nice. Okay. And that's it for the bike vault this week. Remember, you can vote by going on the app and voting if they're nice or super nice if you do disagree with my judgments. Right, back to you, Ollie.
Thanks for doing the bike vault, Manon. You've done us a great service. Now, before you all start furiously typing away on your keyboards at home, going, Ollie, your cranks aren't at 3 o'clock position, and Ollie, your tyres aren't aligned. Well, right, okay. This particular wall mounting system I have in my flat requires the cranks to be in this position so that you can mount it via the pedal up there. Clever. And as for my wheels and valves not being aligned, I've got no excuse. I've just been quite busy trying to do all this on my own. Anyway, that's all we've got time for this week. So I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I hope you appreciate that we're still trying to bring you content as much as we can given the circumstances. And if you'd like to support the channel, then you know the drill. Subscribe and give us a thumbs up and all that sort of stuff. And you can head over to the shop and get yourself some cool merch if you haven't already. And hopefully we'll see you again next week. Take care out there, and remember, wash your hands. I'm going to go wash mine again now. Cool. There's a helicopter outside and it's really loud. I'm going to off helicopter. God, it's so sunny outside. I want to go outside. It's like it's been raining loads, and then as soon as this virus happens, it gets really sunny outside. There's no justice in the world.
Next. Ooh.